We're joined in the studio by Jason Hubbard and also Mike Billick. How you guys doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
Thanks for having us.
Well, you guys are going to talk to us about Educaching. This has to do with GPS. So first of all, give us an overview on exactly what Educaching, am I saying it right? Educaching?
Yep, Educaching. It's got the word cache in it, C-A-C-H-E.
That's always good.
Yep, and that means something that's hidden. And if you haven't heard of geocaching, then Educaching is totally unfamiliar, but
I think most of us have heard about geocaching, but just again, give us kind of a highlight of that just so we have a foundation, a framework to work on.
sure. Geocaching is kind of like an adventure hide-and-seek with a high-tech gadget. And you use GPS to find containers that are hidden all over the world, all over Toledo, Maumee, Perrysburg, they're all over the place. And so Educaching is the same idea, except it's combining it with learning and students.
Okay, so how does it work then? How does it actually play itself out?
Okay, a teacher like myself will take an experiment or take math problems or something that the students need to learn in the curriculum and will hide it out on the school grounds in containers. And you give the kids GPS units and they plug in the coordinates and they go out and they find what's hidden. And usually they have to do some teamwork, some problem solving, some decision making. And it's a lot of fun. It kind of brings the thrill of hide and seek to learning.
Well, that's cool. So talk to us about the curriculum that's involved in it.
Okay, we wrote a curriculum. It's actually a teacher's manual, but it's good for teachers and homeschoolers and pretty much anybody who wants to do this, maybe even just with their family. And I wrote about 20 lesson plans with math and science, but also it integrates all the areas of school. There's also physical fitness, which is good. We were just talking
about that, yeah.
And so the teacher's manual that we wrote, it has a training section on how to use GPS, but also how to do this with kids, and also has the lesson plans, and it has worksheets that the kids, called field sheets, that the kids take outside with them to fill out, and then all kinds of activities you do back inside the school when you're done with the hunt.
Now, how are you distributing this to other schools, to other educators, to homeschoolers? How do you distribute that? How do you get the word out other than like this? I mean, how are you guys doing that to get more people involved with it?
Well, today's a starting point.
All right, good.
Yeah, we've met every Wednesday morning since that spring to talk about, okay, well, we got to get this product ready now. Here we are. I mean, honestly, I feel like today is the first day of the rest of Educaching's life. We have really been praying about who are the people that we want to work with. And we really feel like God's been steering us towards, right now, working with homeschools and working with Christian educators. We just really feel like that's where we want to go. So we've really been studying what do homeschoolers do, what do Christian educators need from us. And as a matter of fact, today's the first day we're taking orders.
Outstanding.
So yeah, mark it on your calendar. That's right.
Cool. So if you're a homeschooler or a Christian educator, I'm sure several times we'll get this out, but what's the website address again?
It's educaching.com. Jason, you spell it. He's the teacher.
It's educaching.com.
You got 20 lesson plans so far. How many lesson plans is this going to be ongoing until you have like 7 million lesson plans?
Yeah,
Until your
exactly.
brain is totally evaporated of all ideas and thoughts?
Absolutely. And I would love to see teachers and homeschoolers and even parents grab a hold of it and maybe even supply their own lessons and upload them to the website so we can share that together.
Yeah. Can you pick one of the lessons and just kind of give us an idea of what that one lesson is like?
Sure. Keep screwing up the headphones.
As long as the mic's working, you're good. That's all that matters.
One of them, for example, is called Which Tree is Which? And it's a science lesson plan where there are trees, or if your school doesn't have trees, shrubs or plants.
Really cool dirt.
Yeah, there you go. And the kids go out and they use their GPS to find a tree that the teacher has located for their group. So each group is going out finding a tree, and then they make bark rubbings, they maybe take a photograph, they write research notes about their tree, and then they bring all that information back into the classroom, and then they research it. And then they write about the tree that they found. And so they're learning a little bit about the trees in their local area. So that's just one kind of snapshot. Just a second real quick one is a math one where the teacher hides a math problem for each group to go out and find, They use their GPS to locate it. Usually it's in the notch of a tree or under some bark or something. And the kids open up the container, they find it, they read the problem, they solve it together, and then that math problem, if they solve it correctly, can give them the coordinates to go find the next one. If they don't solve it correctly, then they're kind of in trouble, and that's why the teacher's there.
The great thing is for kids, it's gotta be good, just getting out of the classroom, getting outside doing stuff, get the brain a little refreshed as well.
That's right.
Here comes the naive questions. What kind of a GPS system does someone have to do something like this? I mean, for the students who are participating, what kind of GPS system is required?
Basic.
Yeah,
right?
basic handheld.
Yeah.
And you know, Christmas time where we were out shopping, I always like to shop for electronics, and they have they're really low in price right now. You know, under $100 you can get a handheld.
And that's why I think that's why the timing's so good on this whole educaching. Is that you even, Todd, you mentioned that you have a GPS, but you haven't used it, and I think that I'm the same way. I have a GPS. The only reason I bought it is so that I don't get lost in the woods anymore.
You guys probably can't answer this question since Sean was up all night doing the website, but what kind of things can they look at on the website?
Oh man, we're familiar with it. It just
Okay.
wasn't up and running. Yeah, we and you know, help out Jason, but I think for the most part we want new teachers, parents of homeschoolers to be able to go to this website, and if they can't hear what we're saying right now, to understand what educaching is. So in other words, if you want your child to be able to learn something about math and you want to involve technology, we're really hoping it's as simple as doing a Google search and saying, you know, technology math lesson, and boom, there's educaching. I want the parents to be able to go up there, read, and the teachers, to say, okay, what is educaching? How do I get it? And if I get it, is it something where, like you were saying, I have a GPS and it's going to sit in my drawer because I'm too afraid to get started? And the answer is no. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort to walk people through how to use your GPS. Here's your starting point, because I know for me, it's the psychological weight of getting started.
Yeah,
Once you get rolling, it's fine. It's all downhill. But the fact that you're staring at that GPS and the curriculum over here, and you're just really wigged out at both, I would tell anybody who's interested in this, this is 1, 2, 3 ABC, and if I can do it, then anybody can do it. You know.
Well, if you can get technology, because kids love technology, you get technology in their hands, they will educate themselves. You give them the opportunities.
That's right.
That's an outstanding idea.
You know, there is a really great correlation between what's going on here with education and our relationship with God. Because in this, kids have to, they experience the thrill and the hunt of seeking for knowledge. And that's what we have to do as Christians. And in Proverbs 2:2-5, it says, "Make your ear attentive to wisdom, incline your heart to understanding. For if you cry for discernment, lift your voice for understanding. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will discern the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God." And part of Colossians 2 says, "That is Christ himself, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge." And that's really the heart and soul of why we're doing what we're doing. One more verse in Jeremiah 22:16, it says, it's talking about Josiah, who was a good king because he loved the Lord. And it said that he pled the cause of the afflicted and the needy. And so all of anything that comes from this endeavor is going towards helping the cause of the poor and the afflicted and the needy. Because in that verse it says, "Is not that what it means to know me, declares the Lord." And we want to know God, and we want to make him known. So, you know, this is just one small thing in life. This education is one creative idea. And God has stamped each of us with creativity. He's made us in his image. And so I just want to encourage the listeners today that God has stamped you with his creativity. Use it. Let's use it to further his kingdom.
Well put. I hope those verses are on the website, especially that Colossians 2.
Amen.
Tell us one more time what the educaching.com.
Educaching.com, and if you need it spelled, I'll rely on Jason Hubbard over there, the teacher.
It's educaching.com.